On the night when shadows creep, ghostly whispers from the deep, candles flicker, spirits play. Welcome to this Halloween day. Bats are flying through the air, eerie laughter everywhere. Spooky Halloween, a frightful scene. With every scream we chase the dream. Join the dance beneath the moon's gleam. In the shadows we're all a team. In the moonlight, tales untold, the secrets of the night unfold. Witches brewing their magic potion, feel the chill of ghostly notion. Echoes of a time long past, spirits dance, shadows cast. Spooky Halloween, a frightful scene with every scream.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the show tonight. We are joined by Lisa Fry, my co-host, and obviously Claire Brodie. Welcome back to the show, Claire. Did you like that music? Do you think that was AI that made that for me?
I did. I was getting right down to that. It was great. A bit spooky for me, all that sort of, zombie stuff.
I made the trailer on Canva, and then I asked AI to produce me a song that was scary but to do with Halloween, and it took about 10-15 minutes, and then it gave me it back. It's amazing technology.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You know,
well, thank you for having me on anyway. It's great to be back.
You're very, very welcome, and I've been really looking forward to this. It's been a long time since you were last on. What was it, about 8 months, 9 months?
I know. I don't know where time's gone.
I know.
Yeah.
As...
I didn't meet lovely Lisa before, so this is lovely.
Yeah.
Well, where are you located, Claire?
I'm near London. I'm in Hampshire, but nearer London. So a lot of my work's London-based in the UK.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's fantastic, and thank you so much for coming on tonight. Listen, guys, I've also put Claire's website and your new book that's also out. Could you tell us could you give us a quick plug for your book so as everybody in the chat can get their Christmas presents in,
Oh, bless you, Christopher. Yeah, it's called Heaven Sent. It's all about your eternal soul self, the indestructible part of you that can't die, and the unconditional love that you are. And it outlines all the different type of soul connections that you might experience in your life, all the challenges and the pain that you will go through because of them. But the reason behind it is that all of them are leading you back to your soul self and the divine love that you are, literally. So yeah, Heaven Sent. You are Heaven Sent.
I love that. That's what we talk about, how some of the people that hurt us most love us the most.
Absolutely.
And people are like, oh no, that's not possible. I'm like, are you learning?
Well, I think unconditional love is very unpalatable to a lot of people, and we don't love well on this planet. We love in condition. And love is actually freedom, and most people don't want to hear that.
Yes.
So so we suffer because we expect people to behave a certain way, and then we have what are known as soul connections too, which means we energetically bond, spiritually bond, and of course we can't break those bonds until we have worked through to the unconditional loving stage of freedom. So people just don't understand this. So that from the loss of like angel babies to soulmates, or I had a twin flame connection, which was absolutely a baptism of fire for me, spiritually speaking, because that's all about spiritual ascension. But no matter what kind of soul connection you're in, they are here to return us to ourselves, aren't they?
Yeah. Bring us more complete and all that, bring out those lessons in. It's and people they struggle with trying to figure out what's the next step or how to move forward with people that they have a disagreement with, or a lot of people want to cut those people out of their life. I'm like, no, that's a choice you're going to make, but they love you on a soul level. So.
People run from love because it's uncomfortable. it taps them into the fears that they have in themselves. So this sounds all very, you know, trite at a surface level, but when you get down to the nub of it, this is the crux of why we're here. I mean, we are the universe experiencing itself. There is nothing else but the universe and consciousness, and we are that. And unless we realize that, we are going to suffer over and over and over more than we need to.
Yep.
So, and that's obviously as a medium, and I'm sure Lisa can, you know, verify or not. But, you know, I just think that our whole work really is to help people understand their eternal nature. So it starts out with providing evidence-based messages, but it's so much more than that mediumship. So much more.
Agreed.
Yeah. We get a bit pigeonholed, don't we, sometimes? I think mediums.
Yes, because they want to, because people come in and they want a certain thing, right? They're like, I want this. And we're like, there's so much more.
Yeah. So I don't do that now. I do soul crisis. I do soul healing and spiritual crisis work. And I love that. We've got people coming in, joining. How lovely. I can see that.
We've got lots. We've
hi,
actually
Denise.
got 16 in the chat.
Have
right
we?
now.
Oh, welcome everyone. Yes. So yes, I do spiritual crisis work, spirit release, and soul healing and soul readings now. So I do the wider stuff because after 20 years of doing evidence-based mediumship, I was being taken on to the next level. And but now I'm trying to get people to understand that after 20 years of purely evidence-based mediumship, I'm not that channel anymore. We all evolve, don't we? So so it's great to be here just to even get this out there.
Absolutely.
We've got a lot of people coming in. We've got about 17 people watching. Obviously, we're going through Lisa Fry's page. Please check out Lisa's links too, guys. But it's like that. See, I do tarot readings every single day. Every day for the weekend. I don't know. I think I only did about 25 people today. And I do it free. I do it for free. Live.
Wow.
And I do it every single day. And after every reading, I always tell remember you're loved. And I think that's a good thing to put across, that a lot of people don't realise that. Saying to somebody that you're loved can make a big change in their life. And
that's all we want. And ultimately everyone wants to be seen, don't they? They want to be seen, and they want to be seen at the soul, not just superficially.
Yes.
So I love that you're doing that. You're a better person than me. I do not work for free. I value I value my life energies that I'm giving away. But I find as well that people value what I'm doing when I put value on it. So what's your energies, Christopher?
Well, I've only done maybe 30 readings every day this week for the last 7 days.
Well, that's what I mean.
It's all right. I'm like the Energizer Bunny. I'm fine. I'm fine.
The Energizer Bunny batteries are out.
Yeah.
I sleep good. I'll give you that. I'll do that.
I bet you do.
I sleep about 12 hours every night.
I mean, I'm fully booked for a year in advance, right? But I'm only doing 2 a day, and then I'm teaching in the evenings, and that's enough. It's with mediumship anyway, it's totally exhausting. You're using obviously spirit energy, aren't you? I mean,
as it kangaroo girl, I try to love unconventionally. It's not something I plan to do, but was something I was born with. People do things to me, and I always forgive them and do it again and again. Just doing it. It's karma. I think karma's got a lot to play in life, because if you love people and you try your best for people, it might not happen that then in second that you'll get good luck, but it'll come round when you're least expecting it, and it'll help you. Well,
this is it. We magnetize to us that which we are, don't we? So it is about loving self as equally as loving others. Unconditional love is not about being a punch bag. In fact, it's about healthy boundaries and not accepting behavior that isn't loving back at you, but you're not also throwing out a whole load of psychic attack and resentment and anger and all of that. You're loving in freedom. It's like, you're not ready for me just now. I'm not ready for you just now, but that doesn't mean I don't love you. So I understand what she's saying. It's I mean, I don't know, but I often feel like I've got all the love in the world to give, and I can't find the people. And I'm very happily married, and I've got amazing people around me, but I think we remember the unconditional love that we come from, and nothing really
Yes.
in this world is matching it. So all of us feel unseen.
Yeah.
I don't know what Kanga thinks to that. Are we doing like a Halloween special tonight?
Well,
We're
just
talking about love.
talking about, yeah, we're talking about love, we're talking about afterlife, we're talking about what happens in the end, and really, that's really it. I mean, it's quite interesting
You
to
never
see
know
that
what's going to happen here.
this is the weird thing. See, I can always remember my birth. See, that's a weird thing with me, is I can remember
remember
my
you
birth.
saying that to me before.
Yeah, and I remember, and it's weird you said that, how we came for there was so much love, and I can remember that.
Yeah.
I didn't. It was like everybody was waving me off, and I know when my time comes, hopefully when I live to my 110 or something like that, when my time does go and I do cross over, the Lord will wait me again to welcome me back. Yeah.
Definitely. More than you realise as well. I think some people only think in the terms of, the people they've met, or the people they know, or the people that love them. They don't understand that ancestors have also connected in with that love. But even more than that, there are your own soul family that are there that you may not have even incarnated with in this lifetime, but that who you have bonded with in spiritual terms at the soul level, and are waiting to welcome you back into that love. I mean, it's incredible, really, why we even come here and we fall away from that perfection so that we can experience individuality. I don't know.
I've got to say one more thing, and then I'm going to let Lisa do some questioning, because I know Lisa's got loads of questions for you. But but I know that I watch a lot of, is that Dolores Campbell? Do you know who I'm talking about? Dolores
Cannon.
Yeah, I watch a lot of her stuff. And I think she's right about a lot of stuff, like how this earthly plane is a school. It's a school, and they say the Earth is one of the hardest places to like reincarnate on. And I can fully understand that, because the Earth is very backwards if you think about it. We're always warring with each other, we're killing each other, we're trying to make the world a better place.
We're babies, and we're stuck in the repeating history, aren't we?
Yes.
I think we are ascending. But I believe on this planet we've been much more ascended, and we fell into literally the dark ages, and we're making our way back to that now. So very gradually and slowly. But there's certainly a shift on the planet right now. I mean, I've been working as a practitioner for 27 years. And when I first started out, there was hardly anyone. It was only women coming to see me. It was a few people, and it was all about, if you want, loved ones. Whereas now, it's equal men, equal women, which I love, and they're wanting to know much more. They're more spiritually aware in general. They're more soul aware. So we are moving, we are shifting. My practice has had to change to even keep up with everybody. So that's a good thing. That can only be a good thing. But because of that, I think, because there's always equal light and dark, right? It's always polar energies. We are seeing so much darkness in the world, and most people are focused on that. But like Dolores Cannon talks about two worlds, that there'll be two Earths, and I think really what she's talking about.
I've that now.
My take on this is kind of, if we focus on the negative, we'll get more of that, and if we focus on the positive, we'll get more of that. So you're going to have two camps. The ones that are going to choose to vibe high and understand that their consciousness creates reality, and the ones that get caught up in the drama of it all and pulled down. So we do need to be very consciously aware. And this is why I'm banging my drum. I'm sure Lisa's banging her drum. You're doing a great job doing your tarot readings, all of this. But, you know, I mean that seriously. All of this is helping people wake up to themselves. It doesn't matter which avenue you come through.
Yes,
exactly. It only matters that you come through it, you know.
I think people like you and people like Lisa and other psychics and other mediums and other tarot readers that's watching this, including myself, I think we came here. We had a mission, right? We had a mission, right? Well, you've got a mission as a medium, right? Lisa's got a mission as a medium also, and I've got a mission as like a tarot reader. And it's the same with people in the chat. We've all got separate missions. We've been sent on a mission to try and like open up the earth a wee bit more to a more enlightened plane.
Absolutely.
And and then when we go back, we'll have to go through the life review and all, go through about our stuff, and then they'll go, do you want to go back again? Do you want to go and try again? And I'll go, well, why no? We'll go back again. Why no? Let's just go back for the 500th time. What's another go going to be? You know, but I think eventually the Earth will hopefully stop killing each other and stop the wars, and one day the spirits can look at Earth and say, right, Earth's fixed now, let's move to the next planet. And I think that's really what needs to happen.
I think so. I don't think I told you this story last time, Christopher. Forgive me if I have.
Oh,
but
no.
I was taken to Stonehenge, and
Right.
we were in a small group at Stonehenge. We were given a private evening there within the circle on our own to do a meditation and to send healing basically into the earth. And it was so powerful. I mean, I'd never been to Stonehenge before. I don't live that far from it. But we did this meditation, and I know I'm a medium, but I wasn't expecting anything. I was just going there to sit in the ruins. Oh my God, what I saw. I mean, it was just my vision was just opening up. First of all, I had felt the ancestors and the people of Britain, I suppose, so close, the deceased so close. It was like, I can now understand why when people say death feels cold when it touches you, that it was like they were physically there and cold on me. But the earth showed me the earth crying. And I could see all of the earth covered in concrete, and because this place is definitely a portal. And then I was taken into the future, and I could see dominions, is the only way I can put it, of homes that looked round where humans had grown vegetation over the top of where they were living. They were glass in the front, but everything else was in the ground. And they were much smaller communities. The cities had all gone. And I was aware that Earth healed herself. Yeah. So this time period we're in completely changes. And I have no idea when that is, because it was so far in ahead that I couldn't even understand really what I was looking at. But it gave me hope to hold the light, because we are going through one of the darkest periods of time, ironically, I think, to be closest to the light. Earth will heal, and humanity seems to go with her. Yeah, but it's going to require a massive shift.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I hope it's not like a disaster, but there's been disasters before in this plane.
It feels a bit biblical at the moment, doesn't it?
Yeah,
you know, with what's going on. It does. Everything feels very intense. Everything that seems to happen feels sort of extra large, from our music industries collapsing to natural disasters to, you know, even just that hurricane that just happened was absolutely huge. You know, everything is coming massively at us. But I really believe nothing changes until we are forced into change. That's how we evolve. So we got to get really uncomfortable and sit in that uncomfortableness to evolve. It's serving a purpose. Yes, and the dark always leads us back to the light. Always.
Exactly. Lisa, would you like to?
I'm just sitting here listening. I mean, it's really interesting to listen to. I absolutely agree with, you know, pretty much everything she's saying, because having worked on, you know, both sides, because I do shamanic work, and you know, you see a lot of, you have to have that balance. You have to have the dark and the light to create movement, right? You can't just, and I know that, you know, there's actually kind of a thing going on where everybody's talking about, you can't just have light, you can't just be all the light bringers and everybody's out there, you know, showering love and light and everywhere, and here's me going, that's true, we've got to be able to experience both those things. So that's why we set ourselves up for that pain, because without it, if you don't experience that that darker side, how do you know when you're standing in the light?
Absolutely. You know? And also you can't appreciate, like you're saying, you can't appreciate how good life is or how wonderful you are, your indestructible nature, until it's put literally to the test. So, and this is the thing, Lisa, I'm sure you're seeing this in your work, because I work shamanically too. So you know, we're like kindred spirits. Yeah, we're good. I work with an energy healer called Giles. He works in removing extractions, and we do spirit release together. I communicate. We work as a team. It's the whole twin soul thing. So, but exactly that. You cannot know yourself as the light without knowing yourself as the complete and utter opposite. And I've always found when people really have a true spiritual awakening, what comes is a dark night of the soul, and everything that is terrible gets brought to the surface, and it's really painful. A spiritual pathway is for the brave. It's not for those that want to just feel safe, you know.
Right. No, it's you run across people and they're like, okay, this is what they're going to do, and they get thrown off course when they start to hit the bumps, and they don't understand that that's what this is.
Yeah.
What this is. We don't want to go, well, it's a horrible experience, everything is pain, but there's some pain to learn about yourself. You know, you're going to learn about yourself as you go along, and what you thought you knew is not necessarily, you know. So
Yeah.
and then I think I see a lot of people fall off the path when they run into the bumps, right?
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, this isn't as easy as I thought. I thought I was going to burn a candle and go hum something and be fine. And no, I'm serious, right? And I'm like, yeah, but you have to stay the course, because if you are deflecting, or if you're afraid to step into that, then you're not really learning. You're not learning about yourself and all of the things that you, not even, by the way, this lifetime, that you've carried from other lifetimes as well. I love working in the Akasha calls. It's one of my favorite things to do. So, you know, so it is. There's a big trend right now of people, though, that think that they're just going to step into it and it's all going to be hunky dory, and they go. And
the
so,
love and the light brigade. But you know, I know why it is. It's because spirituality is quite a feminine energy. And then when I work with the masculines, I love working with masculines in all of this. But the spirit, but soul, spirit is a feminine energy. Masculine is the material, right? So I think it draws a lot of people to it that are emotionally intelligent, which is the feminine side of things. So we're wanting a gentle ride. And then we find we're thrown into the absolute opposite of that in order to balance and to literally come into our own power. So yeah, I'm with you 100%. My lights are going off here. I think in validation, I don't know if you can see them flashing, but I'm with you. It isn't about an easy ride. It just is not about an easy ride, unfortunately. I mean, last year, and I speak from experience, last year I nearly crossed home. I was in terrible pain, really, really ill for a long time, proper dark night of the soul. And I walked this path for 27 years, and it was hitting me from all angles. You know, and my guides told me up front what was going to happen, because it was the only way that they could try to do something to let me know it was going to get terrible. And at the same time stood back and let me go through it. And that was a massive learning. It's like they knew they couldn't do it for me. White Feather, my main guide, has always said, I walk with you, not for you. And in retrospect, and it was the hardest thing I've ever survived, in retrospect, I am so empowered. I'm a better channel, I'm more compassionate, I'm more able to empathize with people even more and help people, and I'm more educated and qualified to help people. But at the time, I was throwing my toys out the pram. You know, just like, how could you do this to me? You know, yeah, exactly. You left me in my darkest moments, and also, of course, we're very grounded when we're in pain and when we're suffering. So, for anybody listening that's going through it, just hang on in.
Yes,
it's worth it. My lights are gone again.
I will say this. I'll say this. See, since I started doing this, and I started doing this, I think it was just after my mum died. My mum died 7 months ago, right?
Aww.
And I was, that's fine. She comes to visit.
She's not really gone.
She's not really gone.
I know where she is. I'll see her again. But when it happened to me, I was lost. I was bad. But I did the tarot readings. And I thought, you know something, maybe I should start doing this to help people. And see, since I've done this, I've totally changed. I'm not the same person as I used to be. Nothing pisses me off anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing. I mean, people could come up to me and start beating my car with a baseball bat, and I'm like, okay. Right. And I'll just walk away, and I'm just totally changed. I seem to be different. I don't seem to be angry anymore. It's like,
No.
I know what the purpose of life is. I know that I'm here to help, and that's what my purpose is. It's weird. It's talking about it now, it feels weird, but it's like
wonderful. That's wonderful.
It feels.
And I think also when you had a
dreams.
Oh, sorry.
Hmm?
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I think the internet slowed down. It all went quiet, and then it kicked in.
It's a wee bit laggy.
Yeah, I think when you've had a real loss as well,
yes,
no one can replace your mum. I think you get a reality check. You don't sweat the small stuff. It's like because I nearly, crossed home, and I would have been happy to cross home. I was told I was not allowed to. I haven't finished my mission. But when you get a reality check like that, suddenly anything of the material world is small stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it, and if you are following in service to others and you're following your purpose, then that's the cherry on the top.
I get validation. I get a lot of vivid dreams, and I mean ridiculously vivid dreams. I have conversations with people at night that have passed that I know, and there's people I've had conversations with that I didn't know were dead, and I've had conversations and I've found out that they've passed away, and they've showed me things. They've showed me beautiful gardens and beautiful. There was one place they took me to, and it was a beautiful. Imagine the most beautifulest park you could possibly imagine, right? And there was benches everywhere, but there was people sitting on those benches, and some of them had Victorian clothes on. Some of them had like soldiers' uniforms on and that. And I asked what it was, and they told me that was people that had crossed, and they're just waiting. They're trying to, what do you call it? They're just realising that they've crossed, because there's no time really in the afterlife.
No,
that's what people don't realise, that a billion years for them is like a second here on Earth. That's how it is, And they tell me stuff, but now nothing seems to. I'm just totally changed. I'm totally different. But I do go to the Akasha Records. I've been to the Akasha Records a few times.
Well, you saying that, Lisa saying that earlier, I was like, oh yeah, I love this, because also when I'm doing soul path readings and I'm tuning in, so I can connect with people's loved ones and do the evidence-based stuff, but I'm also bringing in the guides, and I'm going to the Akashics, and they're showing me past lives. But what's really interesting is that what I'm seeing is we think of a lifetime as like this long from birth to death. But the soul path, obviously, from source, the life is, it's like this. And what I've learned is that we could go and have a lifetime, say, in our lifetime now, and then learn something that we think, I actually want to take that lesson, but I want to do it in the 1500s, or I want to do it. So time's not linear. We can travel back and forward. So you could have somebody crossing over on that bench in that outfit while you've just left from this timeline in that in your clothes, meeting in the astral planes there, and you are meeting at the same time. They're not lost, they're not stuck, they haven't been there forever. Like you said, there's no such thing as time. They're beyond time. So we've really got to shift our perception of reality. And you're giving me shivers, because I literally just made a TikTok about this that I'm putting out, saying the same thing about people when they see spirit in their dreams that they don't know, people they have not met before. So I'm loving this.
I've got my spirit guides. I've got my two spirit guides. One of them, I think it's a woman. She's not really made us to be. I've not found out her name yet. But the other one's a guy. He hangs about me all the time. I know where he is. He's here now because I can feel him hanging about me. It's weird, but it's so weird, because in the spirit realm, it's like I can talk to him. And we have conversation. We have deep conversation. It's weird. Sleep is weird, because you'll go to your bed and you'll feel like you've had a full life in the spirit realm. You'll do thousands of things, and you'll wake up and it'll be like 6 hours later, and it's so weird. And it's, Lisa, what's your opinion on this?
I'm all in. I'm just because I'm agreeing. Like, I don't do a lot of dream work. that I'm aware of. I know that we are always working in our dreams, but I'm more the theta brainwave. Right before I wake up, right before I go to sleep. That's where I really like my communication. But I know that we're always doing that kind of, heavy duty work when we're deepest into our sleep. But when I'm in the Akashic records, I'm in there doing, healing and past life soul retrieval and reintegrations and all these amazing things. So it's just so obvious that when we're in there and we're working with an energy that needs to maybe finish out the healing process and move back in and reintegrate to the soul and create some more completeness for that person, that there's an actual because what I do is I drop people down into trance. So I'll drop them down into trance, and then I walk in trance with them, and we go into the Akashic halls, and then I bring fragments out of this chamber, and then they get to have an experience. So they get to sit there and talk to that fragment, that piece of their soul that's over in that other life working.
Yeah.
And then they get to chit chat and then heal each other. It's the most amazing thing. But it's just right there with that. We're jumping all over. Our soul gives a little bit over here and a little bit over there and a little bit over here, and we're a little bit all over the place. So it's really amazing. And what I really find amazing is the fact that people like I've never met Claire, right? But we do this pretty much the same work.
I was going to say the same thing. Yeah. When you're an authentic light worker, because you find out that other people are doing all the same thing and that they've elevated in their own workers' channels, and we're all doing the same work. And then you just know we're bang on, because it's the collective consciousness, isn't it? We're all.
Yes.
You read my mind, Lisa. You must be psychic. I was thinking that.
Somebody told me that. but so I'll tell, if I'm teaching a class or something, I've never taken a class on the Akashic records. Never once.
No,
never once taken a class on the Akashic records. But I can tell you who my teacher is. It's Archangel Metatron, and he dropped it in my lap. Oh my God! So he dropped it in my lap. We were living in Hawaii, which is absolutely amazing energy. Wow. And he just went, I need you to do this. And I went, I don't know what the heck you want. And he goes, no, this is. So I said, I'll tell you what. So I asked 3 friends if they would sit for me. And I said, this is what we're going to do. And they're like, well, where'd you take this class? I said, I didn't take the class.
No. The same thing happened to me. So I've had Metatron's energies, the frequencies of Saint Germain as well, which is the twin flame. But I've also, yes, we are on. There we go. Okay, we're violet flaming it. And I also have an alchemist guide, weirdly called Christopher, who I've written about in my books. And he is, if you like, the teacher. So if I go into the Akashic, he has shown me my own Akashic, if you like, history, my twins, but also has taught me all about that. So same as you, Lisa, we're spirit led, we're spirit taught. There isn't a human being that can teach you this. There isn't a tutor. You got to learn how to be the
certification.
Yeah. I knew we were going to be vibing.
But people are like, I don't have a certificate, I can't do this, and I'm like, who needs a certificate?
Yeah, I mean, I am an accredited medium in the UK. I'm accredited with the Institute of Spiritualist Mediums in evidence-based mediumship. But that was only ever about proving that I had done a level of education, so that I hadn't just set up shop and said, I can do this. Okay, it accounts for nothing, Lisa. You can't get a qualification in this. The qualification is the experience and the evidence and the help you're giving and the time spent doing it, and the love that you're having in your heart. You can't. So I'm with you totally. And I went down the road getting an accreditation, because in the UK we've obviously got the Arthur Findlay College, and we've got ways to get qualified in all of this kind of thing. But it stands for nothing, really.
It's weird though. It's weird how you two have came to meet each other, because It was weird. I was sitting one day. I was watching your TikToks because I always watch your TikToks. Give you, I always like it. Makes you so because it helps with the algorithm and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
thank you.
And I get the wee voice. in my head. I was actually meditating. I listen to like is it 900 hertz? That's what I do at night. I turn all the lights off and I put my noise cancelling headphones in. I listen to 900, and that's what I do. And I was just going through Facebook and I was just doing my usual thing, creating trailers and stuff like that. And the wee voice that sometimes talks to me says, "You need to get the two of them together." So that's what I did.
Yeah. Well, it's fantastic. I love it, Lisa. Isn't it nice to meet another practitioner? Because we work very isolated, us practitioners, in the main we do, because we're dotted out across the globe. And meeting someone with the, well, I'm sure you feel the same, Lisa, but, finding the people that you can trust and the ones that have got carried away with ego and are really doing it for the right reasons.
Right.
And it's not about money. I mean, I charge. I have no problem with money.
There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong.
No, well, and also what I've learned is I inherited a program. I was told that spiritual people don't make money and that spiritual people give everything for nothing. And that, if it's a gift from God, you do it for a gift.
Yes.
And then I realized that was an oppression on all spiritual practitioners, because we have to live in a world where we have to pay. And if we cannot pay our way, we can't do the work, which means we don't get this out there. So I started to realize I need to get rid of that, because that is actually holding true practitioners back who can't actually value or the quality of what they're doing. And how do we go out and be the light in the world full time? Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to spin people's perceptions, because I still hear this narrative playing out. And it's out of date, but also I think it came about from suppression. What's the best way to suppress that knowledge getting out is to ensure people can't do it.
Yeah. We were just talking about that before you came on. We were talking about how much it costs to do what we do.
Yeah.
And for all the people out there that are watching and commenting, we bless you, love you. Absolutely share to a friend, tag a friend, all that, share to a group. But because that simple thing that somebody else does because they're enjoying what they're watching or they're finding value, you have no idea, you guys, how much cost is involved in this. And this is something that people don't talk about.
No.
We're supposed to be spiritual and we're supposed to be la, 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 and let's not talk about this. But I'm very open about this in our membership, that everything has a price that we do.
Yes.
And people, some of our students don't charge, and that's totally fine. And some of our students do, because energy exchange is important. But I got to tell you, this economy just jacked our expenses up, and I just found out about it today.
I broke the news. I broke the news to Lisa tonight.
Chris.
Well, I've offered you my StreamYard. You can use my StreamYard if you want. Because different time zones, it doesn't matter, because when Lisa goes live, I'm sleeping. I'm away to the Cashier Records. I'm doing my Cashier Records stuff when Lisa goes live. Sometimes I'll come in, I'll be like, looking at my phone, I'll have my specs on, I'll be trying to see stuff, misspelling my comments and stuff in the chat. But otherwise, that's me.
It's expensive to do this, because you have your webpage, you have your restream or your whatever you're using, your multicasting, you have your Canva, you have your audio, you have all these things. And it is a significant investment in not just yourself, but at least because I don't do as much healing sessions as I would like to, because my time goes towards we have an incredible second to none group of people online that are part of a membership that they help each other rise up. Right. So I'm just the talking box over in the side, and I'm doing all of the technical stuff. And so I get to see all that, and it's amazing how we are guilted to not charge. And that is a big thing. And then the people that do charge sometimes feel as if they get shamed. They get shamed. So there's another layer, right? It's not just the guilt of charging, it's a shamed guilt that other people want to put on you. And I'm like,
but it's freeing yourself from all of that, isn't it? And this has been a real work in progress for me, I have to say, because like I said, I came from the old school, you don't charge for this, it's a gift from God. Yeah. But for me, now I'm charging. Now I am charging because I'm understanding that energy, money is energy, abundance. If I'm going to live in my full expression of myself, that is not feeling bad about valuing what I'm doing. And as long as I'm not, and I'm not trying to rip people off it. You do know what I mean? I'm mission led. So the money, I mean, you're probably the same, Lisa. I mean, I haven't been interested in money. I've been terrible at it. But now I'm getting a little bit older. I'm realizing I haven't provided for myself. I haven't provided well enough for my family. Yeah. You know, you look at people like Ram Dass, who died in poverty. Yeah. Because we've got this poverty mindset playing out in the spiritual arena, and it is detrimental to us all. So I'm not saying we go out there and fleece everybody. I'm just saying we've got to readdress the balance and the love. Oh, I'm loving that, Katrina. Because, you know, at the end of the day, like you're saying, Lisa, we shouldn't feel guilty. I mean, you know, if a surgeon's going into surgery to operate on somebody, you could be saying the same thing. He's got a skill there. He could just be helping the person's dying. He's getting paid. The priest is getting paid. You know, the people that are really in the most dire need, the ones who are, you know, needing surgery or on death's door, these people are being paid to help them. It's the reality. So I don't know how we got onto money, but this is a great subject.
I really do think it's a great subject because there's a lot that goes around this. People sidestep around this. Yes. And I don't mind stepping right in the mud. I don't care. I mean, whatever. It's okay because I'm not everybody's cup of tea. But it's something that that we do talk about every once in a while in the group, that it is a source of he said, she said kind of stuff, right? You know, like, don't do that, don't do that. And it goes right over with your, as you were talking earlier about, you didn't used to charge and now you do. And people, you know, hey, I get it. I get it.
You know what's weird? I mean, I did start out doing it for nothing because I never saw this to be my job, if that makes sense. I worked in advertising. I worked for Disney for years. I was really high up in that. And then when I had my baby, I was doing my mediumship all the while for free. But when I had my first baby, people were saying to me, "Come, whilst they're asleep, can you come? You know, can you do me a reading?" And they just started leaving me money, and it just rolled. Yeah. Now I have found that people don't value unless they're paying a certain amount. They want to pay a certain amount. They're even telling me you should be charging this, you know. So. Yeah. Our relationship to money really is psychological. It really is. And so in the end, you realize that you just need to go the middle ground. You know, how much do I need to survive, to provide, to be able to do well? Because, for instance, with me now, I've reached a level of success and I'm very blessed in that, to have got a level of credibility where now I'm able to like even think about running retreats, taking this word out a lot further field, having the books out, reaching a world global audience with it all. That requires money too, Lisa.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah.
And if you're looking at like spiritual teachers, even people like Thich Nhat Hanh or the Dalai Lama, there's money behind them.
Oh, yeah.
To get the message out. So we've got to shift our relationship and realize that that's not the driving force of why I'm doing it. No, I would happily do it for nothing. But given that I need to achieve or want to achieve so much or to help as many people as possible, this is what I need to do. That's okay to ask for that and not have the guilt. I don't carry the guilt. No longer. That I've put that down.
What do they call it? Umbuku, when everybody shares everything they have and everybody prospers. Hey, umbuku, let's do that. And then we can
you're going to give it to somebody else, aren't you? It's, you know, it's it pays forward. I mean, I was listening to a money expert, actually. He was saying that payday really isn't you getting paid. It's just where you just share out what you get that and you hand it to someone else. No one's actually got paid.
Right. It's distribution day.
Exactly, distribution day. So, you know, this is the way we need to look at it. And I think this is part of self-love. You know, I'm talking about unconditional love and the soul and empowerment and all of that. I don't think we value ourselves enough in the spiritual community. Right. Nobody else works in this world for free. Exactly. Why do people think you should?
Yeah. So can I move us away from money really quickly?
Yes.
Okay, let's do that. Okay. Let's talk about Saint Germain.
Yes, Saint Germain. Let's get on to the good stuff.
So this is really interesting to me, though. First of all, I want to point out I don't have my Metatron necklace on, which is something I normally do when I am doing a podcast or something like that. I have a special Metatron necklace.
I've got one hanging behind my iPad. A Megatron.
Have you?
And so I went to put it on. I had it in my hand. I don't know why this is a thing today, but I had it in my hand, and they went, "No, we don't need that today." And I went, "But I was heartbroken." I'm like, but I didn't end up putting it on, so I don't know why we don't need it today, but it's not here. But Saint Germain, also in Hawaii, at the same time that I was dealing with working with Metatron and learning how to do this new modality. And as a matter of fact, Ellie from Ellie's Guiding Light, who's in the comments, is one of the first people that I did shamanic work with.
Hi, Ellie.
Calls. And there she is. She's amazing. She's over in Ireland. But so how did you run into working with Metatron and Saint Germain and within the Akashic Calls? I'm so curious.
Yeah, well, so I was 4 when I gave my first message from the spirit world. I was 19 when I started training as a medium. And then I was 31 by the time I was doing it full-time as a full-time practitioner. And I worked straight as a traditional, really focused, evidence-based medium, very much working alongside the science of everything and really trying to bring that frequency in, helping people to understand there's an afterlife. Okay. And I was just focused very much on that. And then I had a client come into this room here and he sat down in front of me. He'd lost his nephew, unfortunately. And he looked at me and I looked at him and bang, started the twin flame crazy. Kundalini awakening in me. So I had an activation, was reaching agape bliss. I saw the Metatron cube form in front of me. And over a few, as the twin flame connection unfolded, because obviously there's a whole story behind all that, but I'm just fast forwarding here. As Giles and I were connected and started to train with spirit for the work we were going to do together, we were then tapped into Saint Germain, the violet flame, through the twin connection, because basically what happens is, as we got the same soul energies, we connect hand to hand over the client who's on a massage couch. As we connect these energies, the violet flame, Saint Germain, all of that is channeled in. And then as Giles is healing, doing the extractions, doing the spirit release and all of that, energetically, I'm channeling in from the guides, from the ascended masters and, the light beings, the crystalline realms, from wherever, what needs to be happening around this soul that we're with for their help. So a bit like what you're doing, Lisa, helping with any soul retrieval or helping to integrate this lifetime with other lifetimes, help this person make sense of their soul path and all of that. So we are very much, you and I, working in the same frequency. And also, I'm sure you've probably got Yeshua, but so I call him Yeshua, not Jesus, because that comes with a whole load of religious connotations. But Yeshua, Master Healer, Magdalene energies, all of this coming in with the Metatron and the crystalline consciousness, because that's trying to embody and integrate onto our planet right now. So these energies are working through us as channels. And I could never, do you know what? That is now 7 years of me owning this truth. I could never have even said that. I didn't even believe in angels. I was like, wings.
Okay, we are twinsies.
Well, it's like, what does a being need wings for if it's an energetic? But I just couldn't. I couldn't go there. And then my first 2 experiences with angels was once I was sitting running a circle in a spiritualist church, and I saw somebody come to me who said, "I'm St. Michael." My head went back. A whole load of yuck was pulled out of my mouth that I didn't realize I had been carrying. I received a healing. I'm like, who the hell is St. Michael? In our country, we've got a shop called Marks and Spencer's. Everyone thought that was it. And, you know, so that was like the first angel encounter. And the second was, God, there's so much to share. I was on a talking board. I was on a Ouija board for the first time. And I was 20 years into my mediumship development. So I did not take this lightly, but I was told I was going to be writing books for the spirit world. I'd come to channel these books. And this was the manner in which a lot of the information started to come in. And the first day I connected, I was told I had Uriel on the board. And I didn't know who Uriel was. So after that, Lisa, I started to think, there might be such a thing as angels. And then, of course, I met Giles, and then this huge Metatron cube, which I didn't even know what that was.
I didn't either. I had no idea. I drew it, and I'm like, what is this? What is this? And I had to go Google it.
Yeah, me too. Because I'd never done the whole Doreen Virtue thing. I'd never done the angels and all of that kind of thing. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'd just never been drawn to that path. I've been much more like down the shamanic route, the earthy, gritty, let me do the dark stuff kind of, let me help people. And yeah, I mean, you and I certainly are on the same frequency. It's lovely when you meet people and you go, oh my God, we're of the same soul family here.
Well, the first time I worked, I'm sorry, Chris, go ahead.
No. I'm enjoying this.
So the first time I was, because I'm a flake, I am a card carrying squirrel, can't keep my brain on one thing. Flake, I get it. I'm okay with it. And I was in a class that we were supposed to figure out who was trying to communicate with us. And I was sitting there, and I had sat there because I was in a meditation, and I had Archangel Michael walk in. I didn't know who the heck he was. I was just like, okay, whatever. And this is just really weird because it seems so, uniformly one religion kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I know it's not, but they predate all that, whatever. So I had set up I'm like, okay, I'll tell you what, if you're here to take care of me energetically when I'm working, just know that I'm a flake. And we set up a contract that anytime I do any type of meditation or any type of spiritual work, please just take care of me. Just take care of me because I'm never going to remember this. So all of a sudden, after that, I started having these, like, my bottom lip would start vibrating. Every time I sat down to meditate or was doing readings, my bottom lip was vibrating. And I'm like, this is the weirdest sensation ever. And I was in this class, and they're like, okay, we're gonna step down into meditation, and we're gonna ask Archangel Michael to come in. And I'm like, okay, this sounds interesting. Let's do that. And as soon as he did that, as soon as I stepped into that, Archangel Michael just rubbed his finger, like just brought that vibration onto my lip. And I was like, holy cow. I didn't realize how much that angel was around until that moment. And I went, wow. But I also want to hit on, I'm sorry, and I know I'm just going on because I know you got to go, and that's so much.
No, we're fine. We're good.
But when you said you brought science and that vibration into what you do, girl, I love you. I'm always saying, I know I'm bringing the science into it, but let's talk about vibrational. Let's talk about EEGs and how they measure energy, and it's important.
It's very important.
We're such a thinking society anymore. We have a hard time getting out of our head. Sometimes that's the only way you can reach people, by saying it's quantifiable.
That's right.
Measured.
I'm just sorry. Just got up a cough. Sorry.
So but then both sides of the brain are working together, and it's just it helps. So I love that you said you bring science into it a little bit.
Well, in all my books, so the first book I wrote was with a lady called Teresa Chung, who's actually a very well-known author. We coupled with the Windbridge Institute in America, and Dr. Julie Beishaw contributed to that. Sorry, I've just got a cough. Shall I mute my mic?
That's fine. Fine. I had the flu last week. It's fine.
Sorry, everyone. And then in my second book, What the Dead Are Dying to Teach Us, I brought in a lot more scientists from IONS and from the University of Northampton. Chris Rowe wrote something on the psychology side of it, because I just think people, like you're saying, Lisa, need permission to know that science is actually interested in all of this. And on my TikToks, I bring in the science where I can, because to me, science and spirituality are two sides of the one coin. You've got the esoteric, which is spirituality, and the exoteric, which is the science. They're both studying. One's the study of consciousness, one's the study of the material world, and quantum is going to join the two. So we have to look at both sides. You can't have, and anyway, mediumship's always been a science. It's always been a science. So I love the science. We are well beyond the science. The spiritual dimensions and consciousness far strips out the science. Science is never going to catch up with consciousness and the soul. But we can, like you're saying, Lisa, accept and integrate with our soul self a whole lot better when the mind will quieten down and accept a little. Oh, okay, authority, because we're wired that way as humans. Authority is telling us, that. Right. And in fact, on my TikTok today, if you went on there, you'd see I'd shared a video about Nature magazine and how physicists, it's like tonight. The whole consciousness is the reality. So I try to drip it in where I can. People really are more interested in wanting to know their spirit guides and seeing deceased loved ones in dreams and all of that, and that's great. I'll go wherever anyone wants to go. They can ask me anything and I'll answer it. But I'm with you, Lisa. We need both things. One, you can't have one without the other. It's like you can't have dark without light. You can't have up without down. You've got the study of the material, the outside of us, and the study of the inside. But the inside always trumps. Yeah.
Science is always trying to catch up. They're trying to explain things, and some things are unexplainable. And I like that too. But I'm very much about putting the science.
It's Claire's TikTok. Everybody, please go and give a follow for Claire on TikTok.
Thank you.
I've got all the links below this video. I've got everything. I've got all the links, your website, your book, everything.
I know. I've seen you putting it up. You are a gem, honestly.
He sent me your information yesterday. I think he sent it to me yesterday. You sent it to me a long time ago too, and he's like, you need to go check out her stuff. Go check out her stuff before we start. And I didn't, and I don't like to know a whole lot about people that I'm talking to. And I'm so glad I didn't, because I think I would have been like, I would have a laundry list.
And also, I think as well, Lisa, you're like me. I think mediums and channels, true mediums and channels, don't want to do the research. We want to feel the authenticity of it in the time, and we don't want to be under influence mentally, because everything we do is coming from a higher place. So, I'm the same. I don't like even listening to things like Bashar or Cry On and things like that, not because I'm not behind them, but because I don't want that information in my head. I want to know it's coming in direct.
I thought it was broken. No, because I live like right here, and I don't take a lot of other stuff in unless it comes, through spirit. And I just thought, well, maybe I'm just like stuck up.
No. I thought I was stuck up. It's not. It's to do with being authentic and trying to stay clear. And the same as you can't know anything about a client before they come or anything like that, because you're under suggestion. So other people's material I stay well away from, because then when it comes in, I can then go there and go, has anyone ever said this? Like you're saying, Lisa, you discover that the channelers are all bringing in the same knowledge, and that feels fantastic then when I'm getting it,
Yeah. See, that's interesting you say that, because when I do the free readings every single day, I ask people, don't tell me in the chat, don't tell me your life story, and don't tell me. I'll ask them yes or no if they're in a relationship or no, if the lover's card or something comes out. But that's it, because you'll get people that will come in and they'll put a big list. They'll be telling me everything that's happened to them, and I'm like, I ken that, because then you get people out there that don't really know how to read cards, and they'll see that, and they'll go, oh yes. But they're feeding them their information.
They're feeding
They're not
And
really-
actually, the true channels don't want any information because we're trying to
Yeah.
go to source, right? And if you're going
Yes.
into collective consciousness, higher self, whoever you're tapping into, you want to be there. You want to be a clear channel, not under suggestion or influence. And
Yes.
I mean, this was the good thing about all the training I had, right? I mean, I had such a solid training. Chris is an awesome reader. Oh, I bet he is. And also, do you know what? You can always tell from the love, Chris, that's coming out. It's the frequency. So whatever information you're giving, you're going to be giving higher wisdom.
It's
and
weird
it's not going to be
because
just about, oh, you're going to get married and have, whatever, kids.
It's weird when I was talking to Lisa before the show started. It's weird when I start doing it. I get into a weird zone. I get into this weird place. There was a couple of months ago, I had a vision of a car crash, a motorcycle crash. And I said to the person, don't go with that person. About 4 days later, they came back and messaged me and they went, I didn't go with my boyfriend in his new motorcycle. A car pulled out at an intersection and hit him. If I had been on the back of it, I would have been killed.
Wow, there you are. Well, I'm sure you're channeling properly from spirit unawares.
But I'm still a baby. And
yes, but at least you see now there's a student, Lisa, and I'm sure you'll agree that is a worthy student, because most people, and I teach at the College of Psychic Studies in London. I have a full training program in the UK, and I can tell you now, I can always tell the ones who have got it, because like you just have said, because your ego's not in the way. I'm still a baby, so you're not trying to run before you can walk. It's not gone to your head. You're not going, I can set up shop and do it. You're trying to do it with integrity and in alignment with some higher intelligence. And so therefore you're going to make a wonderful channel. But it's not the ones who want to run with it quickly and who want to get on platform overnight and who just I've made a link. I'm a medium. No.
I've just recently started putting psychic readings next to my cards. I actually messaged Lisa to say, do you think that'll be all right? Do you think it'll be all right if I put psychic there? Do you think, because I didn't want to think that I was being out there, because there's people out there on TikTok, there's people out there that don't have a clue what they're doing. I sit at night and I think it's funny because they'll throw out the death card and they'll say, oh, you're going to be getting a girlfriend and all that, and I'm like, that's the death card.
Maybe you might change your girlfriend, but
but that's the thing. It's I wanted to use it, but I was kind of afraid to use the psychic, but I talk to dead people and stuff like that. Yes, I hear them and stuff like that, but I was afraid to use it because I was always afraid that there's people, look what he's doing. That's what I was a wee bit with,
Yeah, but that's it. You come about. See, I'm of this school of thought, very old school of thought. My teacher is in her late 80s now. I've been proper brought up in the old school, and I was always told, "Hi, Bobby." I was told, my teacher would say to me, "When I step in, spirit steps out." So for me, it was never about me, never about me. And it's like shamans. Well, they're known as pack. What are they known as? Pack. Oh God, I can't think of the word. Shamans never call themselves shamans. Mediums never call themselves mediums. Other people name them that. Other people will be telling you you're doing a psychic reading, Chris, and then you'll start to realize that's what I'm doing. It's like people were telling me you're a spiritual teacher, Claire. I didn't name myself that. People were telling me I'm coming to you because there's a wisdom and a depth in you that I'm feeling a quality to what you're saying. You're tapping me into my soul. So that's my measure. Other people will mirror back to you where you're at. Miss Keys is saying you're great. You see, Chris? I'll have to have a tarot.
Actually, there's Bobby Farrow there. He's a tarot reader. Guys, please subscribe to his channel. Fantastic.
Where's Bobby? Where's Bobby from? Out
Bobby,
the Wild West?
The US, the Wild West. I don't know whereabouts in the US he is, but fantastic.
The Wild West.
You want to subscribe to him. He does fantastic readings. I was watching him the other night, but I had to go to my bed because it was nearly 3 o'clock in the morning for me. So I was a wee bit, I was like up the screen. I didn't have my specs when I was trying to read it. I was couldn't see,
I tell you what, I really admire psychic readers. I cannot do it. I mean, I can work psychically to teach, but I am not a psychic reader. I very much rely on a third party deceased member communicating with me, even though obviously everybody's psychic. But, you know, to actually be a really great psychic, to be able to explore futures and past and all of that and come out with information is a real skill. It is a real skill that doesn't get enough credit, I think, when it's done well. And I think that's because anybody can buy a packet of cards and sit there and intuitively read off of them. You know, but it's like mediumship, isn't it? I mean, it's a field that isn't taken seriously in the main. And yet it will be. All these fields will be, because once we start to understand that consciousness creates reality, we'll start to understand that this is a very skilled area of work in order to be able to tap into these other dimensions that exist and to get information back from them. So it will change.
Hopefully one day it will change, but sadly that's us 1 hour and 5 minutes in, and I know that you have to go and take a taxi about. So Lisa, do you have any more questions before we go? Do you have anything
No.
You sure now?
There's nothing that is going to be like quick. So
well, maybe we could do a part 2 at some point.
Yes, we'll need to do a part 2 at some point. Could you please give a plug out to absolutely everybody? All the links are below and everything's there, but can you give us a wee plug?
Sure. So yeah, come and find me. I'm at clairebroad.com, TikTok, The Real Claire Broad Medium, YouTube, Together with Spirit. I'm on Instagram, and also obviously I'm working with Giles Whitnell. You won't find anything on him at the moment because he's very much in the material world as well. So, but you can come and find out about what we do if anybody is stuck with needing help spiritually speaking, particularly in the UK. If you want us to come and visit homes and things like that and help do clearance work and all that kind of thing. Where in Scotland are you?
Oh, I'm in Lanarkshire. I'm actually 28 miles from Glasgow, but 30 miles from Edinburgh.
Lovely.
A little village. A little village from the 11th century. I've got a chapel just down the road from the 11th century.
You're in heaven.
A lot of spirits about. A lot of spirits about.
I bet there is. Village. I bet.
My house is maybe only 100 years old, but there's houses in my village that date back to like the 1400s.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
And whereabouts are you, Lisa? Do you mind me asking?
I'm in the exciting Ohio, United States. Very exciting.
That is exciting.
No, we have cows and corn.
Well, that's exciting. I love the States. You know, it's been like a second home to me through my whole life. It seems I'm running parallel with it. In fact, I'm over in Florida next year as well. And unfortunately, that hurricane's just taken out the island I'm visiting as well.
Oh, no.
Hopefully, it'll be fixed.
Carrie says she'll skip my cows and corn. Hey, Carrie, let's go over. We'll go together, girl.
I love corn.
I've always wanted to go to the US.
I bet you've got sunshine, though, haven't you? We haven't got sunshine.
Yes, we do have sunshine.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't get that much here in Scotland. We seen a strange thing in the sky the other day here in Scotland. It was called the sun.
Here's me. I was like, "Ooh, extraterrestrial." Okay.
No.
Last question. How are you sitting on extraterrestrials, Claire?
Oh, totally in.
All right, we're good.
They're interdimensional beings for one. I've definitely seen them. And as to craft and things, I've never seen craft. But when I'm working spiritually, I mean, we got star seeds, right? How can the soul just be in this? So, come on.
Greece.
What's that,
Bobby.
sorry?
How do you like Greece?
Greece? Well, I love Greece. Yeah. I haven't been to Greece, but I have been to Greece years ago, but I want to go back. I love all the ancient history. Rome, I know I've had a past life in Rome, so I'm very drawn to all that kind of thing. I've had, but also Samaria, all the ancient history. We're old souls, Lisa, eh?
Yeah, and I'm wondering. I have thoughts. So
Okay.
thoughts.
Well, we can
Oh,
talk.
well,
We
yeah.
can talk after the live. But listen, Bobby in the chat.
She's got
Listen,
someplace to be.
I will send you Lisa Fry's contact details, Bobby. Below in the chat. I will send that after for you. I think he wants you for his show. So, and maybe I'll send you Claire's
Bobby.
too contact details. So there you go.
Yeah,
I'll send you both.
come find me.
So-
That'd be great. Thank
so,
you for having me on.
Claire-
Bless you both.
You're very welcome, and thank you so much for coming on. And listen, guys, I will see you all tomorrow night. Have a fantastic night, everyone. We'll talk behind the scenes, but everybody, be safe and see you all tomorrow. Bye, guys.